All right, so the next thing, the last thing we got here is in this lot of stuff is the conclusion and then the poster. So the conclusion answers what you were trying to do in the first place. So if you were trying to see whether, let's say, whether the mass, whether it had an effect on the time, your conclusion, as it says here, would be one or two sentences which answers that question. So, did the mass affect the time? And so you would just have a sentence or two saying yes or no. As it says here in the second one, you've already provided details in your discussion. So all the details of the answer, yes or no, all the details there were previously done in the discussion. That's where you referred to your graphs and what your graphs showed you, etc., etc. All right, so your conclusion, so it states, as I said, supports or contradicts mass effect on time, yes or no. Results, whether they support that, and then if you can, state the relationship between the independent and the dependent variable. So the independent was the mass and the dependent was the time. And so if you can show a relationship, if you've put a line of best fit and you've decided it's linear, then you can say that it's linear. All right, so I've spoken for far longer than what your conclusion should be. All right, so it's not a rehash of your discussion. All right, just answers. Effect of mass on time. Did it affect it? Did it not? If so, and you can say how, say that, and that's it. Done. All right, so the other requirement in VCE at the moment is that we do a scientific poster. Now, the nature of scientific posters is that they're kind of a summary display of some sort of concept. So, you might have a poster, for example, showing a Nobel Prize winning thing. Now, they're not going to give you every detail of the research that was done to get that be awarded that Nobel Prize. All they're going to do is give you an overview of it. So what VCAR has said is the VCAR said these things need to be in your poster. All right, so your logbook that you've been keeping gives you all the details. So all your details and everything, your big long discussion, blah, 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 that's all in the logbook. And so on the poster, we're just going to summarize that. And so in VCAR, the poster is 1,000 words all up. All right, so very much a summary, except in 2020 when it's with COVID, when it's 600 words all up. All right, so the title, question under investigation. So the title is, let's go back to our thing. Title is, does mass affect the time of whatever it is you're looking at? Introduction. So the introduction is the explanation of the reason for undertaking the investigation, hypothesis, and predict relevant background physics concepts. So in your introduction, I've just used mass and time. There may be other physics concepts or physics terms that are better than using mass and time. So, I mean, the title or the question really does part of the reason for it. So what are you trying to find out? Methodology, it summarises the procedure, okay? Now, if there's relevant risks, relevant health, safety, and ethical guidelines, so if there was something that you really needed to look out for, you would put it in there. Probably most of what you're doing, there's not really much involved there in that. But again, because with the word limit, that's got to be pretty quick. A diagram, photo, whatever, of your apparatus setup help a lot there. Your results, so your results there. So we probably just want the main table with your values in it, your main graph. All right, discussion, again, back in your logbook, you've done lots and lots of stuff on your discussion. So again, you need to link it just to the important parts in there. So there's a lot of stuff that they talk about there that's going to be tricky to fit into all the words. So really, it's the main aspect of things. All right, so you want your graphs, you want so this is the results, and that's, you've got your graphs here, just what your graphs tell you, what your limitations are. Conclusion, again, talked about that before, short references and acknowledgements, so just a list of those that helped, etc. And you can also do your poster as electronic with these, or done it by hand or whatever. If this here is one example of what a poster would be like. So again, on the website Physics with Synno, in this area, I'll put a couple of, there's templates up there and a couple of examples of posters up there. They're really just for you to refer to get ideas. All right, so I hope that all helps. And as always, have fun. And if you need assistance, get back to me.